Hello. I don't remember if I had done this video or not, but it's at the end of the day, so I don't have much voice left. I made a video for my grandchildren, and that was the end of me. And it's nighttime, but I thought I got the makeup on. Instead of looking like I should make a video while I'm made up. So I don't remember if I had made in the past a video, because people say, how can you love somebody that does that to you? And there's a lot of confusion. This is my personal opinion, and I've spoken with, I can't even tell you how many victims, explained why I feel the way that I do. And after I explained it, they agreed. Initially, they didn't agree. The question is, do victims really love their abusers? And most people said, well, actually everybody, I'll be honest, said yes. No, they do not. They don't. We do not love our abusers. You gotta think about it. Say, yes, I do. I've had victims reach out to me because they were strangled too, or they have all kinds of horrific injuries. And yes, I love him. I said, no, you don't. You don't love him. Let's think practically now here. Practical is the word, right? Anyway, why would we choose to fall in love with somebody that is abusive to us, or children, or animals? Why? See, that doesn't make sense. You don't sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I really want to find a man that strangles me. I want to find a man that pulls my hair and rapes me. Oh, that would be so amazing. No, what the hell is that? Now think about that, right? That makes sense, doesn't it? Why do victims say that they love their abusers? I'm going to tell you why. We love the person that they pretend to be. I say that again. Victims love the person that abused them, but that's not the real person, right? The real person is an abuser is what I'm trying to say. So we don't love the real person. We love the person that's persona. The person that they pretend to be would be the romantic one that does nice things for you, that dances with you in the middle of the supermarket, out on the street, it doesn't matter. The person that buys you flowers and takes you to dinner or buys you beautiful jewelry. Something like that. That person makes you chocolate-covered strawberries. The person that does, gestures of kindness. But why do they do that? Because that's who everybody wants, right? They want the person that is romantic and kind and patient and would like to talk about things and watch girly movies with them and stuff like that, right? That makes sense, right? I hope it makes sense. So what abusers do is they master, literally master the art of being charming and persuasive. Why? Because, see, that's all part of that honeymoon. There's that cycle. I'm watching my finger go out. But anyway, there's a cycle with the abuse. Because the abuser is not going to come in hard. Think about it. If a woman just meets a man, and he's like, you fat B, you C-U-N-T, all these disgusting things. You're so disgusting. Nobody would want you. You're so useless, and you're a loser. And I'm actually saying things that my own husband had said. If he said that the first time I met him, I would have told him off, and I would have never looked back. No, that wasn't who I got. Who I got was a person that sang to me and was asking me about the colors of my eyes, because my eyes change color. So they're blue, gray, green, and if I cry, they're very turquoise. So my husband said, well, I'll make sure you never have turquoise eyes. Oh, sounds so sweet, right? Well, that didn't last, as we can see. So anyway, so the bottom line is, do victims really love their abuser? And if you're a victim and you're watching this, no, you do not. He makes you think you do because of all the brainwashing, but you don't love him because you would never choose somebody that is unkind to you, that pulls your hair, that does mean things. Another problem I have too with other victims, they'll say, oh, well, when my boyfriend, well, that could be the husband too, he didn't strangle me. Like, you had it much worse, much worse. No. Abuse is abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter what it is. Abuse of any kind is abuse. And just because you think they make, and it's very frustrating for me because I know the truth now, and the thing is, you really, really, really get a lot more mind clarification when you are away from your abuser. It took me months. So it was 6 months after being strangled twice, June 21st, 2018. When I got diagnosed, you have to wait 6 months to get the diagnosis. Excuse me. My vocal cords are giving out. But you have to wait 6 months before getting diagnosed with partial strangulation. And didn't really think, I think I mentioned this in another video. I mean, with his finger, all bruised into my neck and stuff, my throat. But strangle is a hard word. I'm telling you, rape, very hard words. And you just don't, I don't know, I think you don't connect that with your life because it's just your normal life, as rotten as it is. So, on that note, I hope that people that judge us realize that there's so much brainwashing. See, they have to be kind and everything to take you through that honeymoon phase so they can go into the next phase where they're just starting to get nasty and we're like, oh my gosh, what do we do? What do we do? You're like in a panic because you know what's going to come. So you think to yourself, okay, let me do whatever I can to make him happy. Let me just cook dinner. Oh, let me vacuum extra. Let me do this. Let me do that. Whatever it is, which is ridiculous. But it's what we do because we panic. Because we know it's coming. Oh, and then it comes. And then once they really abuse you, whether it's verbal, emotional, but I think, the verbal is emotional, right? Or they abuse you sexually, or physically, whatever you want to say. It doesn't matter. They go into their abuse, they appear again, and what comes next? Honeymoon. Why? Because they got you where they want you. They beat you down, made you feel like crap. You have zero self-confidence, zero self-love. You just think you're the most ugliest individual ever. You just have nothing. There's just no self-esteem. It's just gone. And, when you're vulnerable like that, you can have somebody probably, I think, easier to talk you into leaving the abuser. But then what happens is, just when somebody gets strong enough, that's when they start the honeymoon. Because they know they have to be sweet again to reel you back in to gain more control. And then that nasty part's coming. Boom, the abuse. So, honeymoon, nasty part working up to it, abuse, round and round and round. It is the merry-go-round of hell. It really is. That nobody wants to be on. You're like, oh my gosh, please, Lord Jesus, get me out of here, And that's it. It's just I had so many conversations with, I literally have lost count on how many victims that I've actually spoken to about this. And every single one of them said, yes, but I love him. And they tell me nice things he did. Yeah, well, anybody could do nice things, And, but then once you point out, like, well, it's not nice to tell you you're worthless. It's not nice to pull your hair. It's not nice to spit on you. It's not nice to force you to perform sex acts that you don't want to perform. Different things like that. So that's it. That's my preach on that. There was something else I wanted to say, but I can't think of it. But anyway, that took a long time for me to realize. And then once I did, I was like, oh man, boom, like a light bulb. I was like, that makes so much sense. But again, it takes time. It's weird because you could think that people say, well, I love you, but I don't like you. Well, I love him, but I don't like him. But they're still there. But again, it goes back. No, you don't. You don't love him. You only love the person he pretends to be, to continue to abuse you and control you. Because the thing is, once they get nice, is with people that are not in this situation, when they get nice through the honeymoon phase, victims think, oh, thank God, finally, he'll be nice again. Whew, I can catch my breath. The longest period of time my kids and I had. And the thing is, you kind of go with the flow at first for quite a while, because you're like, you have to catch your breath because you're suffocating. So you have to kind of go along. You don't even realize you're doing it, to be honest, but you just have to kind of go along with things so that this way you can feel like you can breathe again, because it's going to come bad again, right? But a lot of times, like housewives, you have no skills to get a job, or you have nowhere to go. I think I brought this up recently. They say go to a shelter. Where do you go after 2 weeks when the shelter puts you out? You have nowhere to go. And you don't want your children getting visitation after he's done something terrible to your children. That's the last thing you want. And the kids beg the moms to stay to protect them. And that's exactly what happened to me. Oh, crap, I don't want to get upset. I don't think I'm feeling really vulnerable. Crap. I'm not going to share. I'm not ready, and I probably should ask permission for my children to share. But a lot of times mothers have no idea about the abuse that their children endure. We don't know. Let me tell you, I found out some stuff, and it dropped me to my knees instantaneously, sobbed. And I said, why didn't you tell me? Why? I was so brokenhearted, said we would have just left. Why? Because my husband threatened the children. They were not allowed to tell, or they were going to kill them and their mom. They don't want their family dead, so shut your mouth. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's it. I'm not going to share because it's awful. It's terrible. And it's heartbreaking. And the thing is, I tell you what, just listen to the news. And I would highly suggest, and I know that there are some step parents, and they're wonderful, and God bless you. Really, I mean that. I'm so emotional. I'm so sorry. Okay, but you can barely get through a week in the news without hearing about some kind of domestic violence. Somebody was murdered, or somebody killed their children. There's so many boyfriends and stepfathers that they rape these children, and they kill the children, or both, I highly suggest. I have stayed single now for over 5.5 years, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. Okay, so 5 years, 9 months, single. No dating, single. Because my kids are more important. And the thing is, that's what us women have to realize, that it's okay. And men too, whatever it is, whoever, if you've been in some toxic relationship, it's okay. I never know where to look here, the numbers are the thing, but anyway, it's actually okay to be alone. It doesn't mean we're just losers or something like that. No, it's okay. Spend time alone. Spend time with yourself. Spend time with your children if you have children. It's okay not to have somebody, because it's far better to be safe and find happiness when you're by yourself than it is to be with somebody and, you just wait. Oh, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? you know, because eventually, sadly, often, people just let you down, right? And they can get nasty, and then we seem to often attract or be drawn to, sadly, that same personality. Very bad. So if you take time for yourself to heal, your mind will be so much clearer. And if you take time to be with your children, they need you. They don't need another man. They don't need boyfriend after boyfriend or whatever you want to call it. Don't do it. Really, please. Same thing with men. Stay with your children. It's okay if you have children or you love whatever. They don't always say, oh, they need a woman. No. They just need stability and love. And if eventually you meet somebody that you have to have a lot of time with, let me just tell you, don't move somebody in and, oh, I'm so in love. No. If you think you're in love right away, you're in lust. That's all it is. Because it takes a while to actually fall in love with somebody. They have to really prove themselves to you. And us to them too, right? If you find the right person. That's it. I don't know. I didn't have a plan. I didn't practice a speech or anything like that. Well, actually, I never do. I just speak. It never comes to my mind. So that is it. Victims do not love their abuser. Period. End of story. They only love the person their abuser pretends to be. If you read about my husband, his career, you see his profile. They call it profile. He's perfect for every single woman. I'm telling you, everybody, even a gay man, doesn't matter, man, woman. If you saw my husband's profile, you'd be like, oh, he's the perfect man. Do not believe that. I'm telling you, don't believe it for a second. And the thing is, if you hear that somebody that this person was with, that said that they were abusive or bully, whatever like that, said unkind things, listen. And women, stop going after men that are in jail, because that is so ridiculous. Why do you go to jail? And you don't need somebody like that, especially the ones that went to jail for domestic violence. Oh, I can change him. Girl, you cannot change anybody but yourself. That's it. Only change yourself. Improve yourself. Go to school. Get a degree. Go to trade school. Do something that improves you. Find a new church. Go to Bible lessons. Women's Bible study. Form friendships like that. Because you cannot change women. We always are foolish. And I'm assuming some men feel that same way too. Oh, if only I'm nicer. I could change them. They'd be nicer. No. Evil is as evil does, and evil does not turn good. It never does. Ever. So please remember that. Be well. Be safe. Be kind to one another. I love you in sign language. I love you. Really, I appreciate anybody that watches. Again, I don't have many subscribers. I had some videos on another channel. I have no idea. I ended up posting on a new one. But okay, that is it. I'm actually going to say goodbye. God bless you all. Bye-bye.